north of Ado-Ekiti flows a sacred river known as Omieri, the river of divine fishes. Here, the waters do more than nourish the land. They carry the spirit of a goddess. Local legend tells of a powerful deity who transformed herself into this river, leaving behind her sacred children, the fishes that swim within. To harm them is taboo. To eat them unthinkable. According to the people, no matter how long this fish boils, it will never soften. And anyone who dares to defile the sacred order by catching or cooking a fish from Omieri will face the wrath of the goddess herself.
Ẹja yẹn ló jẹ́ important jù fún apẹja etíerin kó o ṣe kò ní jiná wọn kì í pa gan kẹ́ ẹ̀ gbọ́ mi sà wọn kì í pa ẹnìkan dán oníjọ́ kínní àná.
Kówé sùn kan lè ṣe.
Kówé kò sí nǹkan tó ní ẹja yẹn máa ṣe pé tóun bá mú lọ léwọn á sè é ó ṣe ẹja yẹn títí tí ẹja yẹn ò jiná ejò wà láwárí. Ohun tí wọ́n pèsè di lẹ́jọ́ tó ọkọjà ẹni.
Kí làwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tó ń wá gbé lẹ́yìn yẹn?
Ó ṣe ètùtù ni.
Ètùtù rẹ̀ ló ètùtù ẹni ló ṣe bẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀sẹ̀ yá. Ẹ kú bó ti ṣe ètùtù.
Bó ti ṣe ètùtù rẹ̀ ó wà in life till now.
The Erin Ayonigba River is not only a site of mystery, but also of healing.
Only dókítà rẹ̀ agidi. Agbọ́mọ yìí dókítà ló gbé kàí ló bímọ. Lọ́ba iṣẹ́. Òun la lágbo ìwòyá wo mọ. Torí kó bá ti lóyún sínú. Òun la àti ẹgbàgbọ́ títí fún mọ́kà mú ebi.
The people believe that its waters cleanse the body and spirit. They drink from it, bathe in it, and use it in their daily lives, trusting the river spirit to protect their community from harm. Visitors often come to feed the sacred fish with bread, watching as they gather gracefully at the surface.
Táà fi rọ omi táà ṣàdúrà táà ṣe tí à ń gbàdúrà níjọ́ kan àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe ẹni tó rọ́mọ bí wá sísàlẹ̀ lọ́run àwa gbàdúrà fún wọn ọdún kejì ẹ̀ ọwọ́ agbọ́mọyẹ wá láti ṣàdúrà fún.
For the people of Erin-Gio, Omieri is more than just the water. It is life, healing, and the heartbeat of their faith.
If you order both InDrive or Uber and you see this man run for your life. Immediately I entered this man's car, there was something hanging in front of his mirror. It looked so fetish and...
But this same man picked me up, May 3rd, and he did the same thing.
On chef boat, on chef Uber, on chef InDrive. I'm getting scared because like, oh my God, what if he's the one? You guys, please be careful.
This is the man who goes around in boats, InDrive and Uber, allegedly robbing women of their belongings, raping ladies in his ride, and pretending to offer safe transport while carrying knives, scissors, guns, and other weapons in his car.
This guy has gun, he has sharp weapons, whatever.
For months, young women have cried out, sharing stories of their painful encounters with this predator. They talk about how he allegedly threatens them, hurts them, and strips them not just of their possessions, but of their dignity.
And you're telling me I'm not with your phone. He's like, you want me to kill you here? Immediately now brought out the knife. He was not holding the knife. He said he's going to stab me to death. Started diverting to another route. That do I have condom inside my bag? Look at what he was asking me. I said I don't have condom inside my bag. He now searched my bag. That he's going to send my body in parts. That he already has people that will buy my body.
Despite these cries and warnings, he is still on the road. He is still picking up unsuspecting women and still moving through Uber, boat, and InDrive like a hunter, waiting for his next victim. And the most heartbreaking question remains, why is a man like this still allowed to drive? Why has no company taken firm action to protect the very people they promise safety to.
Uber are still allowing this man to drive after he has victimized a lot of girls. Every day they're going to complain about our riders. Every day.
So why would Uber and Bolt and InDrive allow a known criminal work with them?
Will you be employing a highway robber to be on the highway picking people?
Every day that passes without justice is another day of risk for countless women. What use is technology if it cannot protect the vulnerable? What good is business when it ignores the cries of the broken? To the companies, the question is simple. How many more women must be hurt before you act? How many more tears must fall before you listen?
Please, Nigerian police, come to our help. Like, the government should look into it. Police, they should look into it. And even close to like 8 or more were saying, oh, I've been inside this man car before, or I'm a victim, or I almost got kidnapped. What? The worst part of this issue is that it has been reported to the police, but police did nothing about it.
To every reader, this is not just a story. This is a call to wake up, a call to demand safety, a call to make sure that no man, no matter how cunning, is allowed to use the will as a weapon against women again. Because as long as this man is allowed to drive, every woman on the road is in danger.
The government is not doing anything. Somebody should do something about this guy.
Every single day, Lagos generates over 13,000 metric tons of solid waste, more than many African countries produce in a week. But less than half of this waste is properly collected or disposed, while the rest piles up in streets, markets, and growing dump sites across the city, turning communities into ticking time bombs. From Ojota to Agege, Ayobo to Iyanoba, and across Lagos, waste is piling up faster than it can be managed.
Good evening and welcome to the news at 6 p.m. on African News 24 TV. I am Lydia Ajayi. Let's take a look at the headlines first. President TINUBU calls for unity, religious tolerance in Christmas message to Nigerians. Budget crisis deepens as Nass extends 2025 fiscal year to March. Venezuela accuses United States of extortion over seizure of oil tankers. And now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to uphold national unity, religious tolerance and peaceful coexistence in his 2025 Christmas goodwill message released today. In his message, Tinubu congratulated Christians in Nigeria and worldwide, describing Christmas as a time for reflection on the birth of Jesus Christ and the values of peace, love and hope that this season represents, emphasizing that the message of Christ as the Prince of Peace is particularly significant amid ongoing national challenges. The president assured citizens that his administration remains committed to protecting the rights and safety of people of all faiths, entrenching religious freedom, and safeguarding Nigerians from violence based on religion or ethnicity. Tinubu also noted ongoing engagements with religious leaders to strengthen collaboration, prevent conflict and promote peaceful coexistence, and also urged travelers to exercise patience and road discipline during the holiday period. He reiterated the government's focus on national security, unity and stability, and also wished Nigerians a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. In light of the Christmas season, ADAMAWA State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri has granted a state pardon to a death row inmate and other prisoners as part of Christmas and New Year clemency exercises. In a statement issued on 23rd of December 2025, the governor, acting on the recommendation of the Adamawa State Advisory Council on the prerogative of mercy, pardoned Sunday Jackson, who had spent 11 years on death row at Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center for killing a herdsman during an attack on his farm. Jackson's conviction, which he maintained was in self-defense, drew national debates and international attention. Two other inmates, Joseph Eugene of the Yola Medium Security Custodian Center and Maxwell Ibrahim of the Cardinal Medium Security Custodial Center, also received pardons. Additionally, Governor Fintiri approved the full remission of the remaining jail terms of 5 other inmates, Joshua James, Adamu Ibrahim, Mohammed Abubakar, Ibrahim Usman, and Saudu Abubakar, serving at custodian centers in Numan and Jada. The governor said the clemency was granted on the basis of significant improvement in behavior and conduct by the beneficiaries, describing the exercise as reflecting a balance between justice and compassion during the festive period. The decision marks the close of the high-profile case that had prompted calls from civil society groups and at least one U.S. lawmaker for its reconsideration. Former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has raised concerns over his continued detention by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, claiming he has been held for over 14 days despite a High Court granting him interim bail. Malami alleged that EFCC officials refused to accept the court bail documents and described his detention as unconstitutional. He also accused the Commission of conducting a media trial, shaping public perception through selective briefings instead of allowing the judicial process to run its course. The EFCC, however, maintains that Malami's detention is lawful, stating he had not fulfilled all bail conditions attached to the court order. The anti-graft agency also rejected claims of restricting his political or media engagement. Malami is reportedly under investigation over allegations including financial impropriety and abuse of office. Political figures and some parties have criticized the detention, calling for respect for due process and judicial authority. As of now, the standoff continues, highlighting tensions between judicial directives and the enforcement of ongoing investigations in Nigeria. The federal government has said it will not spare any ministry, department or agency that fails to prepare and render statement of account to the Treasury on or before December 31st, 2025. The Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Shamsuddin Ogunjimi, in a circular dated December 22nd, 2025, warned that any MDA that fails to prepare and render its separate, stand-alone annual financial statement will have its release of funds suspended indefinitely, while a query shall be issued to the Director, Head of Accounts and Administration. The circular, titled Guidelines of Financial Activities for End of the Year 2025, also directs all MDAs to ensure that all revenues due to both the Federation account and Consolidated Revenue Fund (CSA) sub-recurrent accounts of the federal government are fully collected and accounted for. It directs MDAs permitted to collect and retain 50% of their gross internally generated revenue and remit 50% to the CSA sub-recurrent accounts to ensure due diligence in the collection, utilization and remittance of their revenue, as provided by the Finance Circular with reference number FMF CME Orders IGR CFR 21-20-2023, dated December 28, 2023. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Uche Nwosu, on Wednesday commended President Bola Tinubu and the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, for what he described as renewed and more effective military operations against banditry, insurgency, and kidnapping across the country. He also made the remarks at a press conference in Abuja, where he attributed recent gains recorded by the armed forces to the administration's decision to place professionals with deep sectoral experience in key security positions. According to him, the appointment of a retired senior military officer as defense minister has injected renewed confidence into Nigeria's security architecture and altered the approach to tackling insecurity. He said, unlike in the past, when defense ministers largely relied on briefings from subordinates, the current minister brings first-hand operational knowledge to the job, having risen through the ranks. while urging the federal government to sustain the current military momentum, especially in states such as Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Borno, Plateau, and other flashpoints. The APC chieftain called on political leaders to adopt long-term thinking on national security and economic recovery. Every new year usually starts with many people setting goals and making resolutions they hope will shape the months ahead. But how confident are Nigerians about keeping to these promises and resolutions? Our correspondent took to the streets to find out what New Year resolutions Nigerians are making and whether they kept to the hold. Christiana Chikeze has more.
As the world prepares for the new year, many Nigerians express readiness, banking on the goals and resolutions already set, which they are certain will shape the months ahead. We hit the streets to speak with some persons who identify priorities such as improving personal finances, focusing on health, acquiring new skills, and making positive lifestyle changes as some of the new set goals.
This coming year, I don't want to do the resolution thing because it's looking like a routine now. So I just want to have a retreat coming up at the end of this year. So what I want to do is go there and then just settle everything we got, so I get directives on how to really maximize my time next year, because next year is very strategic for me. So yes, I have financial goals. I have the same kind of goals.
I already have a clearer idea of where I'm going to next year. So it's not just about penning writing, because oftentimes you find out that people who write, they will not keep it. At the end of the day, by end of December, you're frustrated. Oh, I did not. When you look at your list, you find out that, wow, I did not keep my list and all of those. So it's about prioritizing and focus on what is important and looking at your life, your journey, what is practical and what is real to you, and the light of what is happening in the environment.
One of the major resolutions is to check on my health very well, to look after my health, my wife's health, and my children, because we had quite a number of news about how people lost their lives, probably carelessness, let me say it that way.
While some are confident about keeping these resolutions, others admit they did not achieve similar goals set in the previous year, blaming economic pressures and personal challenges.
Things are expensive, do you understand? Even the transports and all that. So I will not say that I did not make, and I will not say that I make, because it's not that I achieve it like that. Though I pray to achieve more of things and like that.
But I wasn't able to hit all my targets because I had to serve this year. So like I finished my NYSC last month, so it wasn't very easy for me to merge up NYSC. I had my own personal work I'm doing. There was a lot to do this year, so I wasn't able to meet up my goals.
I did not fulfill everything I intended to do, but I did partly.
Despite the setbacks, many say lessons have been learned, which have strengthened their determination to do better in the new year.
My personal is to be a good father to my family and to my nation, is to be faithful and obedient to my nation.
My New Year resolution is to make sure that where I left last year, I'm going to complete it. Then for this year, I need to push myself to do better.
Although expectations differ, many are entering the new year with renewed hope. How these resolutions will be sustained remains the new assignment. Time will be the ultimate measure. Christiana Chikezi, Africa News 24 TV.
As the festive season draws closer, Nigerians are once again keeping a close eye on food prices. Christmas is often marked by a sharp rise in the cost of staple items, but this year the situation appears slightly different in some markets. Our correspondent Oyinkansola Alarakwe visited major food markets to find out what traders and buyers are saying.
As the December festive season kicks off, many Nigerians expect soaring prices for food and other essentials, like experienced in previous years. However, rice, a staple in countless households, is bucking the trend this year, remaining relatively affordable compared to previous months. Traders attribute this to steady supply and timely restocking, giving shoppers some relief and the usual holiday rush. Every year, the price of food items are known to skyrocket during festive season. Christmas not an exemption. And as Nigerians prepare for this year's Christmas, markets across the country are experiencing increased activity, but conversations around food prices become another topic for conversation. Visit to major food markets show that some staple food items have recorded a slight drop in price compared to previous months and even last year's festive period. According to foodstuff sellers, while prices have reduced, customer turnout remains low, a situation some blame on limited purchasing power.
This year, the price has reduced very well, more than last year. I think the price of rice this year is more affordable than of last year. Not even rice alone. Many of the foodstuffs, the price have dropped. Bag of rice, you get 60, you get 50 plus. You get 60 plus, 50 plus. We still have the one of 70 plus. It depends on what you want. The price has dropped, but there's no money for people to come and buy.
Rice, the bag of rice is 70,000 for the long grain. Then short grain is 60. Then beans, we have the one of 80, 70 per bag. Price range is more, it's a bit like 5,000 has reduced from it. At times it's from the supplier, at times it's from the seller. So some of the goods don't have fixed price.
Some traders, however, say certain items commonly associated with the festive season, such as food hampers and pepper, are still expensive.
Items that we sell for 80,000 this year. Last year it wasn't like that. We sold it for 50,000 naira. But this year now we sell it for 30,000 naira increase difference. Things have been very, very expensive.
I mean, because you don't tell where you come Lagos. Before I buy 100 pieces, 11,000, 15,000, almost 20,000 safe. So now I buy more than reach 8,000, 800,000, 100 pieces.
45, the tomato. One basket. Rodo, that's more one. 50,000. That big one. 110.
Buyers, on the other hand, share different views.
Compared to last year market survey, this year December is a bit fair than last year. Like rice, the meat has come down, the price has gradually come down. So I think it's fair in general.
Compared to last month, it's kind of fair. At least I know the price of tomatoes has gone down, way down compared to last month. So, and then most of the other things I don't patronize the market, so I can't really see. But from the market I patronize, things has gone down. It has gone down a bit, not so much. Probably like 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira difference.
Others believe prices are still unfair considering the economic situation.
Last year December, I can remember let me say one plate of rice in particular was about 6,000, I think so. And this year, it wasn't really like that. Talking of other food stuffs too, the same thing. So things are really cost because the cost of living now is very high. So many people now cannot really afford what they can afford with the least 5,000. So it shows that nothing is coming down at all.
As families make plans for the celebrations, opinions continue to reflect the realities of the season. Cautious spending mixed with hope. While prices may fluctuate, Nigerians remain determined to celebrate the festivities in their own way. Reporting from the market, Oyin Consola Alarakpe, African News 24 TV.
And on business, the National Assembly has extended the implementation period of the 2025 Appropriation Act to March next year, following concerns over slow budget performance. Lawmakers says the delay in the release of funds have affected the execution of key capital projects across several ministries and agencies. According to the legislature, the extension is intended to prevent the premature expiration of the budget and allow government institutions more time to utilize allocated funds effectively. It is also expected to ensure that ongoing projects are completed rather than abandoned. The decision comes amid broader concerns over Nigeria's budget cycle, with analysts stressing the need for timely releases and improved fiscal discipline to maximize the impact of public spending. And on taxation, Chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, has said Lagos State could generate as much as 1 trillion naira annually from property taxation if the sector's full potential is effectively harnessed. Speaking at the Tax Reform Summit 2025 in Lagos, Oyedele described property tax as one of the most underutilized but stable revenue sources for subnational government. He noted that with just 2 million taxable properties valued at an average of 100 million naira and taxed at 0.5%, Lagos could sustainably raise 1 trillion naira yearly, provided there is proper property enumeration, accurate valuation, transparency, predictable enforcement, and reliable data systems to support compliance. He advocated harmonized revenue collection under the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service to improve efficiency and reduce compliance costs, while urging the states to adopt a model tax harmonization law already enacted by other states. According to him, successful tax reform depends on collaboration across tiers of government, reliance on data rather than discretion, and the use of technology to ensure transparency and link tax payments to visible public services. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the success of Nigeria's tax reform agenda would largely depend on effective implementation at the state level, with Lagos positioning itself as a leading subnational driver of the reforms. He described taxation as a social contract built on trust, accountability, and service delivery, noting that tax revenues in Lagos are reinvested in infrastructure, healthcare, education, security, and social protection programs. The Special Advisor on Taxation and Revenue, Abdul Kabir Ogungo, added that Lagos is working towards a standardized technology-driven revenue portal across local governments aligned with national identification systems to enhance accountability, planning, and governance in line with the state's growing economic responsibilities. And on the foreign scene, the head of Libya's armed forces, Lieutenant General Mohammed Al-Haddad, and 4 other senior military officials have died in a plane crash in Turkey. The Falcon 50 aircraft crashed shortly after taking off from Ankara on Tuesday. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said the wreckage was found in the Emana district near the capital. Libya's Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Beba confirmed the death, expressing deep sorrow over the loss of the Army's Chief of General Staff. Haddad had earlier met Turkish defense officials in Ankara and was returning to Tripoli at the time of the crash. Venezuela has accused the United States of the greatest extortion at an emergency session of the United Nations Security Council in New York. Washington's seizure of 2 Venezuelan oil tankers was worse than piracy, the Venezuelan ambassador to the UN said. The emergency meeting of the Security Council was called to discuss the seizure of the tankers, which took place off the coast of Venezuela earlier this month. The US has also said it was pursuing a 3rd Venezuelan oil tanker. President Trump has accused Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro of leading a drugs cartel and said gangs had operated with impunity for too long. Trump ordered a naval blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. The United States President has said the US will keep or sell the crude oil it has taken as well as the vessels themselves. In response, the United States Ambassador to the UN, Michael Waltz, told the Security Council the US does not recognize Maduro as the legitimate leader of Venezuela. And now to sport news. Senegal, Nigeria and Tunisia began their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations campaigns with victories on Tuesday. The group stage got underway in Morocco. Senegal delivered a commanding performance in Group D, cruising to a 3-0 win over Botswana in Tangier. Bayern Munich's Nicolas Jackson scored twice, opening the scoring just before halftime and adding a second in the second half, before Sheriff Diaye added a late third. The Lions of Teranga dominated possession and chances throughout. In Group C, Nigeria opened with a 2-1 victory against Tanzania in Fes. Ajayi's header put the Super Eagles ahead before Tanzania equalized early in the second half. Ademola Lookman restored Nigeria's lead soon after they held on to secure the 3 points. Later in the day, Tunisia also registered a 3-1 win over Uganda in Rabat. Elias Shiri scored early with Elias Chori adding 2 more goals before a late consolation for Uganda. The result put Tunisia atop Group C on goal difference after the first round of matches. The trio of victories gives these established contenders positive starts in their respective groups as AFCON 2025 progresses. The 2026 Lagos Auto Fest has been scheduled to take place on December 20th, according to organizers. The annual event, held at the Marina Waterfront, showcases motorsport competitions, supercar exhibitions, and locally built vehicles. Organized by the BMW Club of Nigeria and Work and Play Promotions in collaboration with the Lagos State Government and the National Automotive Design and Development Council, AutoFest aims to promote automotive culture, highlight Nigerian engineering, and boost tourism. The 2025 edition attracted thousands of spectators and featured drag races, motorbike displays, and demonstrations of locally fabricated race cars. Lagos authorities coordinate road closure and traffic management to ensure safety during the event. Organizers expect the 2026 edition to further cement Lagos as a hub for motorsports and automotive innovation in Nigeria. Finally, in entertainment, the National Film and Video Censors Board has defended its approval of the movie A Very Dirty Christmas, saying the title reflects human behavior during the festive season and does not mock Christian worship. The executive director, Dr. Shaibu Hussaini, emphasized that the board reviewed the film's content and found no material that ridicules Christianity. Despite defending the film, the board said it is engaging with the producers to consider a title modification that addresses public concerns without compromising the film's creative intent. Iniedo, in response, apologized to anyone offended and expressed willingness to change the title, while urging that the film continue screening in cinema, noting the controversy centers on the title, not the content, which she said does not insult Christian beliefs. Recall that Nollywood actress Iniedo's Christmas film A Very Dirty Christmas has sparked controversy over its title, with the Christian Association of Nigeria describing it as offensive to the Christian faith. The debate has drawn wide attention on social media and in entertainment circles, highlighting the tension between creative freedom and religious sensitivity in Nollywood. Nigerian music star David Adeleke, known professionally as Davido, has reportedly won $96,564 after correctly predicting the outcome of Nigerians' opening match at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations against Tanzania. Davido placed a $25,000 bet on Nigeria to win and for both teams to score in the Group C fixture played in Fes, Morocco. His prediction came true as the Super Eagles secured a 2-1 victory over Tanzania on December 23rd, with goals from Semi Ajayi and Ademola Lookman. The payout represents nearly 4 times Davido's original stake, drawing significant attention and reactions on social media from fans celebrating both the national team's performance and entertainers' successful prediction. Nigerians' win gave the Super Eagles a positive start in Group C of AFCON 2025 as they prepare for upcoming matches in the tournament. And that's it on the news at this hour. Please remember to follow us on all our social media page and website at africanews24.ng. I am Lydia Ajayi, wishing you a Merry Christmas Eve. Have a good and blessed evening.